say that travel can change you. And I would say from my experiences that I've had, that is definitely true. But not only can it change you, it can change the people you encounter along the way. And it can even change people back at home who never left. I grew up in this tiny little town, Rhinebeck, New York. Got some fans? There is one stoplight in that town. To this day, there's one stoplight in Rhinebeck, New York. I had never left the United States until 1990 when I was 24. And I said to a mentor of mine, I feel like I could get stuck in a rut, get a job, like just keep working and kind of get lost, and I don't want to just get stuck. He said, well, I know somebody who's doing something in Uganda, and he could use some help. Do you want to go for a few months and help out? I said, absolutely, I'm in. Where's Uganda? So the next thing you know, January 1990, I'm on a plane, my first flight outside the US. There's a layover in Nairobi, Kenya. Well, unbeknownst to me, I'm on the flight with the vice president and his wife, the vice president of Uganda and his wife. So they whisk all of us who are continuing on into the VIP lounge in Nairobi. I'm already like a little bewildered, and what is this all about? All of a sudden, this entourage of Ugandan citizens come bursting in, and they are dressed top to bottom in these amazing traditional Uganda outfits. The women begin shouting and kneeling and bowing to the vice president and his wife, which is a sign of respect, and it's called ululating, and it goes like this. They are screaming at the top of their lungs. I mean, my jaw was probably open as I'm staring at this. The men lie down on the floor so that the vice president can walk on their backs. And that is a sign of respect to a major leader, the king, the chief, the vice president. I am completely dumbfounded. That was the beginning of a life-changing travel experience, and I hadn't even gotten to Uganda yet. We get to Kampala, and in 1990, the height of the AIDS epidemic, just after the Civil War, there are street children everywhere. And in the marketplace, these market boys would run up and ask you to service you, grab your groceries, carry your bags, and try to get some money. We're like, okay, we got to do something for these street kids. We said, what would you like to do? And they said, Mr. John, we would love to play football. I said, okay, I played soccer in high school. We can do this. We got a couple of soccer balls. We said, meet us tomorrow at the field. 50 kids show up. No shoes, wearing rags, totally excited to play soccer, football, on this gravel field. It was a mess, and they were so into it. Played a little soccer, let's do some drills, let's try some things. I'm running out of ideas pretty quickly. They want to play every single day. This guy comes along, a Ugandan guy, and he's telling us that he would like to help coach the team. We're kind of skeptical. He's going to try to make some money off of us, or he's got an angle. We don't know what it is, but we're skeptical. Hands off. Put him off. He keeps coming around. He says, we're not paying you. He says, I'll do it for free. He keeps showing up, and he keeps showing up. And the kids start to get excited that this guy could become the coach. I'm a little offended. I played soccer in high school. I mean, JV, but still. I know what I'm doing. Turns out, Stone Chambade is a professional soccer player who plays for the Uganda national team. This is why the kids are getting kind of excited. He volunteers to coach them for free because he's passionate about mentoring these kids off the street. For 36 years, up to today, Stone Chambade is mentoring these kids in the Wolves soccer program, thousands and thousands of kids off the streets. He gave a name to our firstborn child, our son Cameron, whose Ugandan name, Stone named him Kutesa, and he's here tonight. He was born with malaria, stunted his growth, as you can see. And Stone is a lifelong friend up to today. Changed my life. Watching his passion, watching his intensity, but his humility to approach us and not brag about who he was right, and tell us his credentials. And meanwhile, he's watching me try to coach this team. You can imagine what was going through his mind. Changed my life and started to open me up to the humility of and realizing what others could bring to the table. So one thing we used to do in Kampala back in 1990, in order to get information, we had to go to the United States Information Services Office, because that's the only place you could go to get the news. This was back before the internet, when dinosaurs roamed the earth. Some of you can't believe that such a time existed, but it did. So we're there one day, and this young guy comes up to us. He's about 15, 16, and he introduces himself. He said, "Mr. John, my name is Henry Chikoyo. I want to study the sciences, but I have no textbooks." I said, "Well, I don't have any books for you, but here's an idea. Every college and university in the United States throws away more books than you could shake a stick at every year as they update their versions or whatever. They're just throwing them away. Write a letter to the head of a department of chemistry, biology, whatever, at any university, George Washington, Georgetown, write a letter, and all they could say is no." He says, "I'll do it." Well, a few weeks go by. I forget all about it. There's a knock on the door. I open the door. He says, "Mr. John, it is me, Henry. They have come." I said, "What has come?" He said, "The books, very many. I had to fetch my brother." The head of the Department of Chemistry at George Washington University sent a crate of books so big that he couldn't carry it by himself. He had to go get his brother to carry it home from the post office. Overnight, Henry Chikoyo had the foremost science library in all of Uganda. He passed his degree, made it to university in the sciences, went on to study environmental law at the law school, immediately got a job with one of the largest power companies in the world, AES, helping them do a preliminary study for a hydroelectric dam on the Nile River. Today, Henry practices international law in London. I mean, I take extremely little credit for influencing Henry's life. This guy is incredibly hardworking, incredibly bright, incredibly resourceful. But he took that little suggestion, and I mean, he ran with it. You never know the influence you're going to have on somebody, even through a small gesture like that. So I come back to Rhinebeck, long flight back, stiff, sore, long flight back to the States, bus back to Rhinebeck, New York. I need to see a chiropractor, get myself sorted out. There's 2 practicing chiropractors in Rhinebeck, New York at the time. I make an appointment, I go in, cracks my back, gets me all set up, it's great. He says, while you're here, it looks like you have some kind of infection or something on your back. If you want me to take a look at it, I could probably take care of it. I said, "Well, yeah, absolutely, thanks, appreciate it." He gets the gloves, he gets the scalpel, antiseptic. He goes to lance the wound. I don't know if you know what a mango fly is. A mango fly is a tropical insect that lays its eggs on cloth or clothing on a clothesline. And when you put that clothing on, the egg hatches, and a tiny little larva burrows its way into your flesh. Continues to eat your flesh as it gives off anesthetics. You don't feel anything, and there it grows. This poor chiropractor lances the wound, and out pops a healthy, fat, wriggling mango fly worm. Changed this guy's life. And he never even left Rhinebeck. Today there's 1 practicing chiropractor in Rhinebeck, New York. So you see, I would challenge you. Get out of your comfort zone. Take a trip. Let it change you. Let those experiences change you. Have an impact on the people you interact with. Bring those experiences back and let them change the people back at home, right? Bring it back. But don't bring the mango fly. Thanks.
Mutabani wa Mungu, muzzukulu wa Senkole, ffe wano tuli bambowa.